He is a Republican congressman from the great state, swing state of Ohio. Bill Johnson is here. He is the president of Penn Financial and the author of The Next Great Bull Market. Business expert Matt McCall is with us. She's a contributor to the Daily Beast. Our friend Elise Jordan is back, and she also, what was your position with Condi Rice?
I was a speechwriter for her.
For Condoleezza Rice. Headline on Drudge, may I read it? Romney narrows VP choices. Condi emerges as frontrunner.
Yay! That's all. I mean, she would be absolutely fantastic. I think it would be an absolutely superb choice for Romney. She has such a gravitas.
You told me Rand Paul the last time you were here.
I thought there was I didn't see this coming. I didn't know that he would be, brilliant enough to consider her and to really put her at the top of the list.
But when I spoke to her, I mean, she seemed dead set. And it wasn't that long ago when her book came out. We did a really fun, interesting hour. She's very smart, and I've known her for years. I like her a lot. She said no. She has no interest in politics. What do you think?
Well, she had to be completely worn out. What a grueling schedule.
8 years.
She was
yeah.
8 years, and I think that she's very happy in her private life in Stanford. But I personally think she still has a lot to contribute. Lately, she's been talking about Syria, and she's stepping up where Obama won't.
I think you get a lot of votes out there. I think you get the independent vote with Condoleezza Rice coming on the ticket. I think you get some of the minority vote that Obama's been dominating. And I think you get a lot of the women as well. And I respect her. And I think a lot of other Americans really respect her. I think it's a great choice. I hope that the headline's right, because I think that this pushes Romney over the edge and gives him the edge against Obama immediately.
Keep hearing Senator Portman from your state, Congressman.
Oh, absolutely. Senator Portman would do a great job.
Would he help win Ohio?
Oh, absolutely. He would. He did very, very well when he ran for senator. He's got an extremely good reputation there. He's solid, solid conservative. The people in Ohio love him.
What about Marco Rubio?
I think he could energize a party, but I got to be on the Condi bandwagon on this one.
All right, forget the Condi bandwagon. You didn't know. Well, but until today, a lot of people weren't talking about Condi Rice.
Yeah, you just gave me the best news of my day.
All right, so because you work with her, you know her well, but you do think Rubio would energize the base. He'd help win Florida. You agree with that? Would he help with the Hispanic vote?
I think so. I think that Marco Rubio has a great story to tell, and he's obviously a great communicator. I think that he could really bring a lot of energy to the race.
He's probably the Tea Party favorite.
He's a rock star. He really is.
He really is a rock star. Agree with that.
You make a good point. You take the Tea Party. That's kind of they're going back and forth right now. That suddenly all goes to GOP. I love Rubio. I mean, that'd be my choice if I was Romney right off the bat. And it gets a young vote. I mean, a young vote, again, is something that Obama's been dominating. If we can get that young vote to switch back over, especially the way the economy is going.
His life story is so compelling. I mean, and so interesting. What do you think?
Not your heart be troubled, Sean. The idea here is the referendum is on the president and Joe Biden's performance. So Governor Romney can pick a number of people, whether it's Rubio, Portman, or Condoleezza Rice. It's going to be better than what we have now.
Do any of these attacks that we've been hearing this week about, well, first it's the Cayman Islands. Now they're saying he might be indicted because he worked at Bain longer than he said. I mean, this is how absurd things have gotten. Do these attacks work, or do they chip away at the one thing the president held on to for a long time, likability, and now people, I think, are seeing him as dishonest? Republicans want dirty air and water, et cetera.
Well, I know in Ohio, the people in Ohio get it. Governor Romney's idea is you risk your own money. You put it up, you create jobs, you hire people, you put the economy back in motion. The president's idea is you take more money from those people, you grow big government, you tax them to death.
Listen, they're bashing the rich. Who buys lottery tickets, Sean? Mostly people that aren't rich, right? We all want to be rich. Americans want to be rich. Why is that a bad thing?
I buy lottery tickets and I play blackjack.
Yeah,
okay,
plenty of people who have money but still choose to buy lottery tickets. But that said, I think that this class warfare is a huge mistake for the Democrats, because at the end of the day, Americans are going to say, what have Democrats and big government done for me lately? He has nothing to show. He has unemployment at 8%, at above 8%.
But we have fewer Americans working than we did when he took office. And Romney created jobs. This president, the biggest deal he ever did, Trump says this all the time, is hit the Resco House deal, which was corrupt. He hasn't. I can't find a job that he's created. He's lost 1 million jobs since he's.
And how can you vote for a president when either you're out of a job, your neighbor, or somebody you know is out of a job, and not for a couple of weeks? I have friends that have been out of jobs for over a year.
Joe Biden calls that a depression.
Let's don't forget, 88.5 million people of working age that have left the workforce. I mean, the unemployment rate is much higher than 8.
Much higher.
Yep.
If we had the labor participation rate we had in 2009, it would be 11% now nationwide. Got to take a break. More with our great American panel straight ahead.
I am so upset that I think the Olympic Committee should be ashamed of themselves. I think they should be embarrassed. I think they should take all the uniforms, put them in a big pile, and burn them and start all over again. If they have to wear nothing but a singlet that says USA on it, painted by hand, that's what they should wear. We have people in America in the textile industry. We have people in the textile industry who are desperate for jobs. And I think what the Olympic Committee done is absolutely wrong.
Let me turn this around on him. I think Harry Reid should be ashamed. I think he should be embarrassed because 29 billion stimulus dollars went to, let's see, Brazil. Harry, you watching? Finland, to Denmark, to China, to the Dominican Republic, to Mexico, and to Canada. So I think our tax dollars being used in outsourcing jobs, that's an embarrassment. That's a disgrace.
And he's talking about doing what Democrats do best, being wasteful. And he's going to be wasteful. You know, he's wasteful of government funds, and he just wants to burn his perfectly good uniforms. Maybe he should burn everything in his wardrobe that's made in China, and then see how much clothing he has left.
What do you think?
I think it's both a disgrace. I mean, the whole Olympic thing, first of all, they're some of the ugliest uniforms I've ever seen. It looks like some French guy walking down the street in Paris. I mean, come on, let's at least look American here. It looks absolutely, look at that. That is absolutely horrific.
By the way,
outfit.
If you're French, you can tweet at Matt Lewis on Twitter, and go ahead.
Yeah, I got to agree with Matt. I don't know whose idea it was to march our athletes in French berets, but we got a textile industry here in America that could flourish if we had trade policies that made a level playing field for American business.
As Trump always points out, they're not playing fair with us.
That's right.
But yet we go ahead and we're going to spend money here. But what about the outsourcing issue? What about all the stimulus? Billions and billions of dollars. We're helping build cars in Finland, eco cars. How about here? We're helping Brazil, discover oil, and we'll be the biggest customer, and we're giving our money for that?
Sean, we had companies that got stimulus dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars in stimulus dollars, that promised to do business here in America and wound up sending all of that money overseas, and then said, okay, no problem. This president wants to talk about outsourcing. He is the
biggest outsourcer ever with our money. Yeah.
China, we have such a huge trade deficit, and it's on target to be the largest ever. It was $24 billion in April, $26 billion in May. It just keeps growing and growing. I think the Chinese really sense weakness because Obama does not have a China strategy.
And listen, we could throw out all the numbers we want. Did the stimulus work is the question. No, it didn't work. When you have unemployment at 8.2%, you have people out of work, and we're going in the wrong direction. I mean, the economy is going absolutely, the numbers are getting worse. Every day they come out and hit, and the stock market's taking a hit for that. So to me, the stimulus didn't work, whether it's money
and that explains why this week has been about the Cayman Islands, all these superfluous, nonsensical issues that they bring up, Bain Capital, outsourcing, because they can't run on
it hides the fact that the economy is getting worse.
They want to run on their record, and they're going to try to divide us.
All right, that's all happening. Thanks for being with us, and that is all the time we have left. Greta's next. We'll see you tomorrow night.